Hi, my name's Rob Arbittier, and I'm a composer and music producer in Los Angeles. This is my studio, and it's very much based on virtual instruments and synthesizers, and we do live tracking here as well. My entire career, which started about 22 years ago as Stevie Wonder's programmer, has just been a never-ending sort of journey of switching between different parts of the music business. I'll move between film work and television work and CD and album work. And a friend of mine told me I should check out the Broadway Big Band virtual instrument. He said it's just an amazing step forward in the technology for recreating brass. And I do write for brass quite a bit, and I usually write at a time when it's inconvenient to have a brass section show up to play something. You know, if I have an idea at 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning, the brass players I know aren't going to be too excited to get a call to come in and play a demo. So what I was thinking when I heard about the Broadway library is, well, maybe this gives me an instrument that I can use to mock up very realistic sounding brass. Let me check it out. So I went to the Fable Sounds website and I listened to the demos they have there, and they were just amazing. They were so good that I didn't actually believe they were a virtual instrument. You should check them out. They're pretty amazing. And the arrangements are amazing, not just the sounds. And so I said, let me check out this library. It sounds great. And I did check it out. And I put the library on one screen, and I put the instruction manual, which is a PDF file, on the next screen over. And within 5 minutes, I was playing all the different articulations. It was really easy to learn how to use. And I just realized this is the most amazing tool I've ever come across for being able to do brass arrangements. Whether I replace it with a real section afterwards or not, or if I combine the Broadway sounds, which are great, with a live section, it doesn't matter. It's just an amazing writing tool. And in my case, I've already done a bunch of jobs, including some television promos, some commercials, where the Broadway Big Band has just made it to air without any additional overdubbing from live brass. And I'm in the process of working on an orchestral job right now where it will be the Broadway library combined with live brass, just to make it sound like a much bigger section. It's just amazing how realistic and clean the Broadway library sounds, and it's definitely changed the way I work. If you compare its brass with another brass library, there is no comparison. And I'm not kidding. I have stacks and stacks. I've bought every brass library, I think every major one ever released. And I've used them with some reasonably good results. But the comparison of the Broadway library versus the competition, it's just not even a comparison. And for me, realistic sounding brass was always something that was missing from my arsenal. I've bought every single brass library over the years, just like I've bought every string library and every drum library, and I have a terabyte server that has a few 100,000 drum loops and drum sounds and everything. I've had good libraries for most parts of the band or orchestra for a long time, but brass was always something that as soon as you would hear it, you would just say, oh, you're going to replace that with real brass, right? And I'd always say, oh, absolutely. And the Broadway virtual instrument is the first library that came along that kind of changed that conversation. I've already done a bunch of projects where we were able to go to air or go to a final mix with the Broadway library playing the brass. I mean, at this point, I personally, if I would see a new title from Fable Sounds on the shelf, I would just assume it's amazing.